It's gonna take a little more than 80 days to travel around the world, but we know you'll hear about it, cause we are three favorite girls exploring the globe. And wherever life takes us, wherever life takes us.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast.
Hey guys.
Hi. We are Wherever Life Takes Us, and if this is your first time watching us, I'm Gina.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Liz.
Welcome.
And today we're going to be talking about our trip to Guatemala.
We were very excited about this. This is the most recent trip we've been on.
This was a very planned last minute.
Yes.
The story of how this came to be was about a month and a half before we left. Liz texted in our group chat, Guatemala for my birthday, ?
Yeah.
And me
pretty
and
much,
were like,
in a few hours, we were putting the money down for those plane tickets.
So all the plane tickets were literally 6 hours of Liz, 12 hours of Liz texting us, you want to go to Guatemala? We were like, yeah.
So we just went. Yeah, prices were good, and I kind of know people in Guatemala, so it turned out to be a perfect trip for the time we wanted to go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was kind of an easy trip, and we planned out the whole itinerary. We had it down pat in 24 hours.
No, it was the same day that I texted them. I texted them earlier in the day before I got out of work. That same night, we were already booking our flights and then planning out.
The next day, we planned out our itinerary. The thing was crazy about that is, this is literally the prime example of why we're called, Wherever Life Takes Us. Because, Guatemala was certainly not on my list or a thought in my mind that, oh my god, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
But the fact that the opportunity presented itself to us, I was like, yeah. Same thing with Japan, I talked about last episode. We really kind of go with the flow. It wasn't, on the top of any of our lists, but, it happened, and
we loved it.
So
I feel like this always happens to us too. Trips just fall into our laps, and we're just okay, here's my card.
Well, also we were just hiking yesterday, and we made these big plans about all 5 different trips we wanted to go on, and we were we have to downsize because our wallets are not keeping up with our heads, and we're in our what do you say, our wanderlustness?
Yeah, wanderlustness. Yeah, we're too wanderlusty. Will we go to 10 countries next year?
Maybe.
Stay tuned.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, we're gonna start with day 1. We missed our flight.
Yeah, so
first time in I think all of our lives we ever missed a flight.
Yeah, we all got to experience that together, missing our first flight together.
I'm so anal about being on time in my everyday life. If I tell you I'm gonna be there at 9:30, chances are I'll be there at 9:15. I'm super anal about it. So missing our flight was just the worst thing that could ever happen.
And shout out to Kelly's dad if he ever listens to this. Probably won't happen, but he looks so stressed the whole time there.
Trying to drive us
so bad.
So we took off at a Newark airport. So we live on Long Island, so we had to cut through the city, and we were in about we sat there for 4 hours. We were in
4 hours of traffic.
4 hours of traffic right by Pier 40, if you guys know where that is, and
we just couldn't get into the tunnel to go to New Jersey for anything.
Yeah, we were literally stuck in the same spot for an hour.
The thing is that we made it. We were there before our flight. We got there about a half an hour or more before our flight, and they were going to run us through customs. They were going to help us. Security was, going to help us get through security and everything. And they were we were starting to run, and they were okay, where are you guys going? We were Guatemala. They stopped dead in their tracks. So, fun fact, if you're going to Guatemala, because it's on, one of the, United States, levels, caution, travel.
Don't travel if you don't have
to. There's more security,
so they shut off security an hour before the flight starts, and that kind of shot us in the ass.
Yeah, they definitely thought we were going to say Florida.
No, we were international, so definitely thought we were going to England or Italy or somewhere more travel
friendly,
and that was not the case. And what I mean, he literally halted in his he started running.
He was so ready to take us I guess
off the line,
through TSA, but he was just
not happening. He was I'm going to be completely honest with you, that's not going to happen. You might as well just go downstairs and try to get a new flight.
And a lot of people miss their flights because
of the
traffic.
Yeah.
So the line
huge line
to go downstairs was wrapped around the freaking place. It was crazy. And then we got to the front. It's a good thing, like, I did some research about what flights we could get to, because we had tours booked, so, like, we had to get to Guatemala. And luckily, we were able to change some stuff around.
Yeah, while Kelly was looking for, like, other options of how we could get to Guatemala, I was, like, changing our tour dates, and it worked out perfectly in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I use this great app called Skyscanner. So, like, fun fact, if you're in an airport and you missed a flight, they might not always, like, figure out how to get you to the quickest way to the country you're looking to get to. So, like, they wanted us to fly out the next day
at the same time.
And I was like, we can't fucking do that. So I had looked up, like, big airports that I knew of. Like, I looked up Atlanta, Orlando, and one in Texas, to see, like, what we could stop at. So I ended up finding one that had, like, we would fly to Texas, like, the next morning at, like, 6 a.m., land us there at, like, 1 p.m., and then have us take off from Texas and then there was a random flight from Texas to Guatemala at 3, so it gave us a 2-hour layover, and it was just, like,
it worked out so perfect.
It was perfect, and it was the easiest thing. Also, the Texas airport, I don't know what airport in Texas we were at, but it was beautiful.
It was in Houston.
Yeah. So don't always take what the TSA or whoever's doing the thing suggests you do. Like, do some research.
Do some research while you're waiting.
See if you can, look for an airport that's big, that's going from there to wherever your destination is, and then if you find one that you like at that time, look for flights going from us, wherever you are, to that state, because chances are there's going to be a lot more flights going to Texas than there are going to be flights going to
especially to Central America. Your best bet is to fly into Texas
or Florida or Atlanta or any of the big airports, because those are going to have a lot more flights connected to New York or wherever you're from, and then going from there.
And I remember Kelly, when she was telling the lady who was, like, helping us, she was just like, can we actually do, like, a flight to Texas and then into Guatemala? And she was just like, let me check. And she was like, yeah, we can do that. Like, there's some things that they just don't think about.
They don't think about, and it's like,
if they're not going to put the effort into every single person to get them the best flight possible.
No,
they're just going to go look, say, oh, this is our next flight.
And so, what did we fly with? Delta or United? United. Shout out to United, because
they just transferred our flight ticket, no extra cost. It was great.
Yeah, they really did us a solid.
They blessed.
Yeah, so that night, we ended up, the flight was actually leaving out of a different airport.
In New York. Luckily, we lived there 3 big airports.
Yeah, so it was leaving from LaGuardia. So Kelly's dad, shout out again, drove us.
He waited to make sure that we got onto the plane, and then when I said we missed our flight, he waited around to make sure we were, like, okay.
He drove us back to Long Island, and we were able to get a hotel right by the...
No, not Long Island. We went to...
Queens. It's technically Long Island.
Oh, yeah. Basically.
Part of the city, but it's Long Island.
Yeah, big debate.
Yeah.
So, we ended up going closer to LaGuardia and just stayed at a hotel literally across from it.
Yeah, it was on LaGuardia property. They gave us it was like, I booked it on bookings.com, the app, which is a great app to use to get good deals on hotels. It was like, what, $80, something like that, and it was a free shuttle from our hotel to the airport in the morning. It took literally 10 minutes for us to get, by the time we got to the lobby of the airport, to get to our terminal. So it ended up being fantastic. It was perfect. It was, annoying that we missed our flight, but honestly it all ended up working out.
Yeah, and the hotel was beautiful.
And what's great about the 3 of us and Liz's brother, who we were traveling with, is, like, missing our flight could have really, like, got us fighting or, like, got us mad at each other, but, like, we were, like, crying and laughing together. Like, we are all really good at going kind of with the flow. Like, we could have been really
stressed about it. We were stressed, but at the same time, we just, like, laughed about it. We were just like, of course,
we were, like, crying and laughing. It was just
like, why us?
Yeah.
But, like, this is a funny story. So then we were able to quickly get on our flight to Texas and then to Guatemala. I think we didn't really have that of a layover.
No, it was like not even 2 hours.
Yeah, so we just got something to eat, and then we were able to get into Guatemala City a little in the evening. We got a ride. Did we take a taxi?
Yeah, we took a taxi from the airport to our hotel, which was 2 blocks away. Like, we could have easily walked there, but that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, Guatemala City, out of all the places we went, it was one of the most, it's safe as long as you do the right thing.
Stay in the red zones.
You gotta
And carry all your stuff around the streets.
ask the cab drivers. They're fantastic because Guatemala's broken up into zones. So like some zones are fine for tourists and some zones aren't. So like ask the locals. Like they're gonna be really helpful, especially like cab drivers, hotel managers, like all that. They're super helpful.
And literally everyone who like was there for us helped us out amazingly. Like the taxi driver was so nice. The receptionist at the hotels, everyone literally treated us amazingly.
The bartenders, like when we would go out, or the restaurant people, like they were just so happy. You know, Guatemala is really trying to up their tourism, so they're doing everything they can. They have a special police force designated to help tourists.
They have
tourist police, they're called, and they're awesome. We'll talk about them a little bit more when we get to Antigua, I think. But it was awesome. Really, like. Don't be strolling around random places at night, especially when you're in like Guatemala City. But for the most part, like if you're caught like nervous about traveling to Guatemala, like as long as you like don't go out super late at night, like travel in groups, stay in
the taxis. They suggested us to use Ubers more.
Yeah,
even the taxi drivers said not only cheaper, but it's more secure.
Yeah.
To use Ubers, so that's a fun fact.
So just, do what you're told. Like, kind of do what everybody online suggests, and you're going to be fine. It's really, I didn't feel unsafe, really, at all. And I was nervous going, so it was definitely it was a good trip.
Yeah. So, day 2, we got there.
So that night, we ended up going to,
a place our taxi driver actually recommended to Paseo.
I'm guessing it's like a mall almost, but it's like a bougie mall. It's called Paseo Cayala, and it was so beautiful. Like it was a perfect spot for us to go at night because the lights are on, and
it was like an outdoor shopping center. It had like a little bakery.
There was like a Paris bakery, which was delicious. Yeah. There was like a gelato stores. Gelato. We ended up eating at this amazing steakhouse, and if you know me, you know I fucking love steak.
It was so good.
And that place was called
Casa Escobar. Shout out them.
Definitely recommend it. They had my favorite type of beer. It's a like German delicacy. Like people around here don't have it. Like usually have to go to like beer gardens to get it. And I walked into our first place in Guatemala and it had it. I literally wanted to cry. I was so happy. Like it was awesome.
They had delicious mojitos too.
Yeah.
And they, like I said before, the people out there are just really nice. They treated us amazingly there too.
Yeah.
The guy, we end up going back to this place later on, and the guy remembered us, and he helped us again.
Yeah. That was funny. He like instantly recognized us.
You guys are back.
The Americans. We just enjoyed it so much. It was like, how could we not go back?
Yeah. So for that night, our first night technically in Guatemala, we just went to eat, went back to the hotel, and we got rest for the next day.
Yeah, because the next day, day 3, we hiked a volcano.
We went to Volcán Pacaya, and it was just basically a hike up the volcano.
A hike or a horseback ride. You had the option to pay, what was it, 200
Quetzales, yeah.
And
about 20 USD.
About $20 US. So I said, why would I hike it when I have the option to take a fucking horse for I love horseback riding, and it was so cheap, so I was like, fuck it. So I sat on the horse, and I hiked all the way up, and it was lovely.
You and Josh got the first 2 horses, and then I was looking at you guys, I was like, I need a horse. Like, because that shit is steep. If you're going hiking up, I think any volcano, to be honest, but Volcán Pacaya, damn,
I was hot and humid. Liz did it all the way up.
I walked out.
I would have done it, but like, why would I do it when I can get a horse?
I was like, getting on the horse sounds nice right now, but I was like already in too deep. I feel like when I decided,
she had something to prove, and you know what? You proved it, bitch. Yeah, bad bitch.
I was able to get a horse eventually, and that horse ride was lovely.
It's just a nice relaxing trip basically up the volcano.
It's very scenic.
Hike. And it's cool because like you literally see, like, you look down over the volcano and you see like where lava's cooling off, like drying.
And then in the distance, you see the two other volcanoes, Volcan Agua and...
Well, you could see three. The one was just blocked by a cloud.
Yeah.
So, we saw it at one point. It was incredible to see three volcanoes
And the whole city.
And the whole city. And there was like a farm town that had just been kind of, I don't want to say destroyed, but destroyed by
the volcano
eruption. That was
2 weeks before we
got there, and that was crazy to see, like, drying lava, you know what I mean? Like, it's awesome. And then later we got to fucking walk on it, which was the coolest experience.
Yeah. Literally the heat was sizzling off of the dry lava.
When we got to, like, we didn't get to, like, the top of the volcano, when we got to, like, the top of what we were climbing to, like, you could step on the volcano, and, like, the lava fell a week ago.
Dried up
like
lava.
You can feel the heat simmering off of it, and like we picked up, and like lava, like dried lava is like sharp. Like
very sharp.
Once it's dry, it's very sharp. But under that, it's like it looks like a muddy consistency.
So our tour guide, we did this for the tour, and our tour guides were amazing. We'll link their names and their Instagram and their website down below, but it was amazing. And I'm sorry, our tour guide brought marshmallows for us to toast, which was the way the volcano, like the lava toasted the marshmallow, it like did it all around, like
it was so good, like
I can't even describe
crispy
it.
on the outside, nice and like warm on the inside.
And I don't like it burnt, so like it toasted it so perfectly without burning it. Like I cannot say, I had like half the bag. I don't remember. I put 2 at a time on my stick. Like you just moved the lava, the surface lava off, and underneath it was like simmering. And I
was really surprised it got that toasted too. I thought, oh, like this is cute, whatever, and then like it actually roasted on.
And then people were there's these people known out there to bake pizzas on the volcano. Like it's crazy.
We saw them making the pizza. Like it was
they were like rolling out the dough by the time we were like walking off of like the eruption area. But it was really dope seeing all that.
And our tour guide said that some people, you know, the adventurous type, actually climb up to the peak of the volcano. But, you know, you always have to be careful because you never know when that shit's going to erupt.
There was lava there a week ago. We were walking on a week old lava. I was not taking any chances. Like, why would I ever? I can't run fast. I'm slow. Ask any of my, like, softball teammates. Like, I'm a slow runner. Y'all both would outrun me. I'd be the one that dead. I would be the one, you know, encased in lava. Like Pompeii. Oh my god. It's not for me.
So we were just jamming out, basically walking up and walking down. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest experiences I think any of us have had.
Yeah, definitely. And then that actually ended earlier than we thought. So we thought that was going to take like at least half the day. We'd be exhausted after.
To be fair, our tour picked us up from our hotel and brought us to the volcano, toured the volcano with us, and then brought us home. So, like, transportation was included for the price, which was crazy.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah. No, definitely. But, like, I was just saying, like, it ended early.
No, I know. We didn't mention that. So.
Yeah. No, the prices, everything we did was super cheap. Like, it was super affordable.
Yes. We got...
Except for Tikal, but it ended up being worth it. Tikal was like $700 for that tour.
It was $400.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I felt like it was...
We took a plane!
I know, but like...
It makes sense.
It actually makes sense. But I remember you said it, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, that was the biggest excursion.
And it was the best. I don't regret it, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, after hiking the volcano, or horseback riding up the volcano.
I horseback ride down.
I walked down.
Yeah.
I love horses. I was never going to get a cheaper horse ride in my life. And why would I walk it when I can ride a horse?
So, it was amazing. And, there was a girl that joined us walking up and walking down. She decided to tag along, and her name is Diana. If you're listening to this, or if you come across this, we miss you very much, and thank you for climbing up with us.
You're a great tour guide.
Yeah, she was amazing. after the volcano, we went to
We showered.
the mall. Yeah,
no,
went back
we had
to
a shower because we were
Yeah.
we were sweaty.
Yeah,
I was sweaty.
Definitely showered. I was dirty. I was
Yeah.
like covered in like lava chunks on my legs.
Yeah.
I was like bloody. They are sharp. Warning.
So we went back to the In-N-Out Hotel, which is where we stayed, and which is a beautiful hotel. We basically showered, got ready, and then we went out again. And we went to the mall. Then we went to the Oakland Mall, which is beautiful.
Huge.
Yeah.
A slide.
Yeah,
It's like in the middle of the mall.
Why didn't we go down that? I remember talking about going down it. I just never did. I'm so angry with
know.
myself.
Oh, we had skirts on. Or I had a skirt on. or
I had a
something.
skirt
remember.
on. Fuck. I definitely
I definitely had
regret
a
it.
cute outfit.
I
I
regret
had a
it.
dress on too.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty sure I just went. I regret it. We should have went down the slide. If you go to the Oakland Mall in Guatemala City, go down the slide, or else you're gonna regret it.
Looks fun.
Yeah. It's very modern. They had like they had their own type of like Macy's looking store.
Yeah, and it had like a food area, which was cool.
Yeah, so they have really modern
They had Forever
stores.
21.
Yeah, they had Forever 21.
They have an amazing store called Minoso, Miniso. If you like Marvel, Disney, that is the store for you. Okay, it was amazing, and definitely you're gonna spend a lot of
They're
money.
gonna spend a lot of money.
Kelly
at this
spent a
mall.
lot of money.
Yeah.
I remember I showed Kelly this cute little Disney princess backpack. I was just like, look at this. Isn't this so cute? And then she took it out of my hands and walked to the cash register. I was like, Kelly, oh, put it down.
Yeah, I spent like $400 that day.
And then my brother didn't help.
Oh my god.
Competing off of each other.
Oh, so bad.
We're like competing who could buy more.
No, I could not compete with him.
He spent way more than me though.
No, he spent like $1,000.
My brother balled out in Guatemala.
I got like 2 Loungefly bags, which if you don't know are expensive bags. They're like $90 pop, and that was one of the ones that Gina showed me. And then I spent like it had to be $100 in Minoso,
yeah.
and I spent some money in Forever 21. So I spent a lot of money at this thing getting stuff that had nothing to do with the fact that I was in Guatemala. Like I don't.
That's why Kelly didn't think this trip was
That
cheap.
mall was
I have no self-control.
But yeah, we had really fun. The mall was just like amazing.
It was cool.
We ate there. We went to the rooftop, which the 4th floor, right? The top floor.
Yeah, the top floor. And rooftop, don't think it like overlooks the city, because that's what we thought. It does
overlooks the mall.
It overlooks the mall, but it is a very, very cool like atmosphere.
Yeah, it felt like you were outside.
Yeah.
It had like, greenery around on the top like ceiling. If you remember, there were all the like the vines with the flowers.
Yeah. There was like actual trees growing there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
That was crazy.
But the rooftop is just basically restaurants, so you could just sit down and eat there, and it's a vibe.
It's not like a food court. Like the food court was lower. It's got like restaurants that let you sit down. We ate at like an Italian
Restaurant called La Tavola, right?
Yeah.
a creative bistro, La Tavola, a creative bistro, which had some really cool things. Me and Liz got gnocchi that was really good.
Yeah.
It was so, oh my god, I want it.
Liz had us try like corn on the cob with Takis on it, which was an interesting thing.
Yeah, well, if you guys don't know, I'm Salvadorian, so our elote loco is way different than what this is, but it looked cool. I was like, I like Takis, maybe I'll like it. It was really nice.
I don't like Takis.
It was too spicy for me.
I don't like Takis, but I liked it more than Liz liked it. I ate more of them than you did, but I just kind of cut out I kind of had to like trim off the amount of Takis on it because I was like,
it was a big
this is a lot. But I love corn on the cob. Like I thrive when I eat corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Only on the cob. I don't like corn like from a spoon. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know why it's so weird. But yeah, that. Don't like that, but it was, it was good. But we went to bed early that night because the next day was the best day of the entire trip and one of the best days of my life.
Yeah. We got up at 4:30 a.m. to take a plane to Tikal.
So we used the same tour guide, and not tour guide, the same tour company that we used for hiking up the volcano. And like I said, they picked us up from the hotel. They brought us to the airport. They had purchased our tickets. Like we just had to like basically walk onto the plane. It was a little tiny like four person per row plane. Like, it was super small.
Yeah, it was like two, and then the middle aisle.
No, it was 2 and 1. Remember, we had one seat. It was a three-lane plane. That was crazy how small it was.
That was cool, though.
Yeah,
It was kind of like a private little pool.
It was like private little pool. It was just like a 45-minute trip to Tikal.
Which would have taken us like 10 hours to drive. So that's why we did this tour instead.
This tour was like we said, like about $400. So definitely worth it, and definitely a really cool experience. But we'll tell you more about it.
Yeah, so that morning, like I said, we got picked up, we went to the airport. We got to Tikal, where our tour guide met us. He was amazing.
He was awesome.
He picked us up in a private shuttle. We had like a 10-person shuttle just for us.
The four of us, the driver, and him. So it was like crazy. Like this was a completely private tour, which was
amazing.
Sick.
Like, it felt like we had the whole ruins to ourselves.
Yeah.
But this is also, just to mention, this is also because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like, there was nobody there because of COVID.
Yeah.
He said usually, like, before COVID, the bus would have been filled. Tikal was full of tourists. We were just like, it was just us in the rainforest.
That was the coolest experience. Like, there was like a couple other groups, but like no big groups. Like, it wasn't packed. It was so easy to take like private photos. Like, absolutely amazing. But you see these pictures on Instagram of girls like getting full face makeup, like big ass dresses, like going up these ruins. Like, yeah, you can climb up the ruins, but let me tell you how hot and humid this place was, okay? The amount of mosquito bites. Gina got bitten by fire ants, okay? It was hot. So, like, expect to sweat. Like, I had to put my clothes in, like, a plastic bag afterward, like, separately. And when I opened them, like, when we got back, like, I can't even tell you how bad they smelled. Like, sorry, but I was sweating so bad. And I'm not, like, a sweater like that, so it was crazy.
We went through the whole jungle, too. We were dirty. We wore long pants just because we were going through the jungle. And we wore bug spray, but that didn't matter. We got eaten alive.
And, you're not just gonna go to the ruins, just, like, see it. Like, you're gonna want to climb up, and trust me, it's worse than any flight of stairs you would ever take.
They're like steep, yeah. And they're like kind of scary too, because there's no heights. Yeah, I really struggle, especially you have to go down. Don't forget, you go up, but you have to climb down. Yeah, and that was terrifying.
And down is like unavoidable for you. You have to look down. Like, when you're climbing up, like, you don't have to look around. Like, you just gotta get up there. But it was really cool because we got really close to like monkeys and like,
oh my gosh, the monkeys were so dope. Like, our tour guide was telling us how the monkeys, they like growl, like the howling monkeys. Hear them, like, it sounds like
they're called black howling monkeys.
Yeah. So they only like make noise if it's gonna rain or if they're trying to scare another group of monkeys. So they were growling, or like, it sounded like growling to me, but they were like, they kept making this growl noise, and shortly after it started to pour.
It's also crazy because we were like at the top of one of the pyramids, and there were monkeys on the treetops.
We literally saw a whole family of monkeys running and
like right next to us. Like, it was like a crazy experience. And then it started like downpouring, and we were at the human sacrifice temple.
Yes,
we were under a little roof.
Yeah, it was perfect. So I got to ask all the questions I wanted, because I had a lot of questions, and we had like having a personal tour guide for people, especially if you like history, was like invaluable. Like, definitely like invest in a tour guide, because it was so worth it.
And he did really good. He had a lot of patience with us too. And he was just very cool. Like, whatever we wanted to do, he was like, yeah, whatever.
He was awesome. As Kelly mentioned, I stepped in a fire ant mountain, I guess you call it. And he was the one to point it out. I think it was Josh. He was like, you're stepping on fire ants. But this man, our tour guide, bless him, he came over, he was brushing them off for me. He took my shoe and shook it out for me.
Getting bit.
Yeah, he had all these fire ant bites. I felt really bad, but he was telling me, he's like, okay, it looks like this. It's gonna burn really bad, and then it's gonna itch. And I was like, great.
Thanks.
Yeah. But he did so much for us.
Yeah.
He ate with us too.
Yeah, lunch was included with our tour fee. So it took us to like a restaurant like at the ruins, which
in the jungle, which was so cool.
So beautiful and like such a unique experience. And the chicken I had chicken. It was delicious.
It was really good. Overall, like, the price we pay for that trip, or the price we paid for that trip, like, we got our money's worth. We got lunch included. It felt like we had the whole, like,
we had private car service to the airport, from the airport to Tikal, because from the airport in Tikal to Tikal, the ruins, it's like an hour.
It's still an hour.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of time there, and then we took a plane back. So, and then we had again a chauffeur that took us from the airport back to our hotel. So a lot of things were included in the $400, and it was so worth it. Like, I was like, it was expensive, but it was really worth it, and we really got our money out of it.
Yeah. And then our tour guide was just amazing. Like, I don't know, I don't really do tours, but, like, he told us about a lot of things that, like, we would have probably never read about. About, like,
we would have been so lost if we went there.
So to compare, like, nothing's, like, marked really. There's no signage like, this is the temple, da-da-da-da happened.
Yeah.
And, like, I went to Pompeii in Italy, and I'll talk about this in the future. I did not get a tour guide, and I did not get one of the voice recorder things that, like, told me.
So you were just, like, walking around.
So I was walking around ruins, and I was so upset with myself for not getting, like, a tour guide, because I didn't know what I was looking at. And, like, as somebody who loves history and loves to know what was going on during that time, especially with Italy being one of my favorite time periods to learn about, like, looking at ruins and not knowing what the hell I'm looking at was hard. So, like, if you're going to a place like Tikal or Pompeii or something that's strictly ruins and is not going to have a super amount of, like, plaques or things, then definitely get a tour guide, or at least get, like, one of the audio tours. Like, have something that shows you or tells you what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You're gonna get so much more out of it doing that.
And just for, like, directions purposes too. Like, if I'm, like, somewhere I don't know where I'm going, I need a map, I'm focused on where I'm going and how I'm getting it out. Having a tour guide, you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah,
that man took us through the jungle. He knew exactly where he was. It was just very nice to just follow and be able to see the sights and enjoy
and
it.
ask questions from somebody who was so knowledgeable. Amazing.
Yeah. He has years of experience.
It's like going to Disney with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Disney tour guide.
We when we want to take flicks for the gram.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. That was. We all looked sweaty though. We didn't take. If we had, like, looks, like, super cute, like, we would have taken a lot more photos.
We posted so many photos from there, and my eyeliner was everywhere.
I never posted a photo from Tikal. There was a couple photos, and I was like, I want to post this, but I don't like it for this, and this reason.
I was so sweaty, and I had the worst sunburn ever on my chest, which... Do you remember?
I remember that.
Yeah, from sitting on the horse up the volcano, the sun was just beating.
Yeah, you had, like, red,
like a triangle on my chest.
He was so, like, concerned. Like,
He was so confused, like, literally so confused, and he was like,
can I touch it?
Touch it? Yeah, like, touched it. He was like, why are you red?
He was literally staring at it like, what is sunburn? He, like, offered, because I was getting red too, and I don't really burn like that, which it didn't end up even hurting me. Like, I didn't really feel either, but he was, like, so concerned that I was getting so red that he, like, offered me his jacket. Like, he was so nice.
I remember we asked him, we were like, do you get sunburnt? And he literally laughed. Like, what?
I worked on a farm my whole life. No, I do not get sunburn. It was so funny.
It was so funny. He was just, like, staring at Gina the whole time, like
just my chest.
At first I was, like, uncomfortable, and then I realized, like, oh, he's looking at her sunburn, and then it was, like, a 2-hour conversation about sunburn. It was so funny.
Because, like, he said, like, he doesn't go out to sunbathe. Like, if he's outside, he's working. He goes inside to relax.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand these tourists. They're just laying down in the sun.
Yeah, we, like, passed a tour group one time, and they were, like, sunbathing, like, at the beach or on the side of the road.
He was like, are you guys okay?
And they were like, yeah, we're suntanning. And he was like, what's suntanning? So, yeah, very blessed to have the life we have and not spend our days working in the sun, that's for sure.
So, Tikal, after lunch, we were back.
Yeah, we went back to the airport.
Yeah, we were on our way to the airport.
I don't think we did anything that night. We were so tired. We, like, we showered and hung out at our hotel.
Yes.
Yeah. The lady made us food.
Yes, we got pizza.
So, like,
that night?
The hotel doesn't have, like, a usual, like, breakfast bar that you would find in America or even in, like, European countries. Like, there was, like, a lady who, like, made food for guests. So, like, we got pizza from her, we got hamburgers from her, we could buy sodas from them.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like there was a vending machine. Like, it was all a very personable experience.
It was really personalized. Now that you mention it, like even the breakfast, she would come over and ask us like, "What do you want for breakfast?" And she was amazing. Yeah, she made like the best rice and beans and plantanos. I was very happy.
I don't know if the bread was homemade, but the bread was delicious. I ate all of your breads. I don't know if you remember.
It was a perfect breakfast each morning.
Josh has said that her hamburger was one of the best hamburgers he's ever had.
Oh, and he's like a hamburger expert.
He's a hamburger guy. So
everywhere we went, this man got a hamburger.
We were like, we're in Guatemala, get something else. But then there was also at the hotel, there was like a little porch that we like sat in, and it was like
there was a little outdoor like area
that we had a lot of fun at.
Some couches. And it was raining. We were under the roof.
It was thundering. It was really dope, actually.
Yeah.
But we were literally just talking about life and just enjoying
each other's company. Yeah.
So that was a nice night.
Like, each night there was a lot of lightning. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was rainy season in Guatemala when we went, so it was like very hot and humid and like rainy. But then the sun would come out. Like, it was very much like it was like we packed for quite a while, like expecting like summer, and it was definitely rainy, but not rainy like we thought. Like
like on the forecast it said it was supposed to rain every single day.
Yeah,
kind of
it did rain. It did rain all day. I mean every day, but it didn't rain all day. It would rain for like an hour or two, and then it would be beautiful, and then it would rain for an hour or two. It was like, you know, like Florida weather. You know what I mean?
But it was the weather was super nice.
Yeah. Okay, so day 5. We got picked up. My mom ended up hiring a driver for us. So he drove us around basically everywhere after leaving.
Oh yeah, so we left. The next morning we left. He picked us up from our Guatemala City hotel. We checked out and we went to Habitanango.
Yeah, so we went to Antigua.
Yeah, we went to Antigua and we stopped in Habitanango on the way, which if you don't know is like, it's not like a replication of the Hobbit village, but it's
like themed.
It's inspired,
Inspired. So there's like the thing, it's kind of like a Renaissance fair vibe. Like there's like games that you can play. Like, we have to throw an axe and shoot an arrow. And they have like natural soaps, and it was just picture perfect. Like,
it was like being in a movie. It was amazing.
It was so beautiful. Like, I don't know what I expected. I never watched it's surprisingly I'm a big like fantasy like fiction TV person, and I've never seen The Hobbit or read the books, so I don't know what I was really expecting. But just pictures wise, it was absolutely, and just like beautiful to look at. Like, it was amazing. Like, we got some really dope photos there.
I felt like I was like in a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Oh my god, everything was just so funny about that day, because remember going on the shuttle?
Oh my god,
it wasn't even a shuttle. It was a pickup truck.
Yeah, that
day,
we sat in the back part of
The function of this pickup truck was basically like a tram. You know when you go to like an amusement park, how they pick you up, you park, and then it's too far away, so you get on a tram, and that
the tram
transports you to the main entrance. Like, that's what this was, but it was a pickup truck.
And we were just like waiting casually. They're like, "Oh, we're taking a shuttle bus up the mountain," and then this pickup truck comes with like a bench in the bed of the truck.
It's like metal benches, like they like customly made the benches on the thing.
Yeah, there was railing around it though, luckily, but like how strong really was that?
And we're driving, and it's hilly, and it's so narrow, and you're going up a mountain. It's so like inclined.
No, but you literally, like, I felt like I had to grab on like the pole. Like,
we were all like hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we reverse. Out of nowhere, he stops. The guy stops, and then start rolling back, and all of us look at each other.
We just like screamed.
We all thought it was so bumpy to begin with. So when we started free rolling backwards, we all collectively shit ourselves. Like, everybody in the van shit themselves, and because we didn't expect it to happen.
Yeah, he was just parking. The man was just backing up into a parking spot.
The other road. No, it's going the other road. Yeah, so it was like we were backwards for like a good couple minutes.
So, like, yeah, we went up, and then out of nowhere he stops and like just starts reversing, and I was like, we're falling.
And no, we all fall like the engine died. Like there was no brakes on this thing. Like we were like, oh, we're getting off this thing.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, we're like shaking getting off of this. Like,
like our knees are like wobbly. It was crazy.
We were shook, but
It was like I had to go to the bathroom because I definitely would have peed myself.
Yeah.
Like,
We were all like dressed really nice too, and we were just like holding on to our skirts, like going up this thing.
it was so funny. But
Honestly, it was like a roller coaster.
it was. Yeah. Especially we didn't know that the reverse was happening, so like when it happened, it was like a bolt of electricity, like of like adrenaline went through all of us. Yeah, it was funny.
It was so funny. But Hobbit to Ningo, as soon as we got off that shuttle, like it was like a whole different world.
Don't be like, oh, I think I can skip that because I don't like The Hobbit or I've never seen Lord of the Rings. Like
None of us have
did,
watched
and
it.
we all. That was one of everyone's favorite days. I think.
Like my favorite picture day, my favorite
day.
We had a lot of fun games we were able to do. Scenery was amazing. We saw all these mountains.
We ate at one of like the restaurants. So they have like pubs and restaurants and stuff.
That was the best meal I had in Guatemala.
Like a burrito, guac, like
I had steak. I think you had steak too.
Yeah.
But that was steak and that sauce.
And we had cocktails that were delicious.
I had lasagna. Our cocktails took too long to get them out, so they gave us complimentary
lemonade, which was also delicious. Josh got a burger, unsurprisingly, because he's, like we said, he's a burger fiend. Yeah. He like went to Guatemala and went to a place called New York Burger.
I know.
What, Josh?
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Like, I got a horchata up there too, and it was delicious.
It was really a beautiful place, and like you're not just looking at the village, like it overlooks like
you're on the side of the mountain overlooking other mountains and other villages and
the whole city too.
That
was in Antigua down there, right?
That was Antigua.
It just felt like a completely different world, like I stepped into one of my fantasy novels.
And it's not only just like, oh, you're just there and you just overlook mountain. It's like you have activities to do. You have what was it?
Axe throwing.
What was that other one that the lady was like
the bungee? There was like a bungee.
Swing type bungee thing, which none of us went on because we all had like skirts on.
You put like a harness on and they just kind of like push you off the cliff and you swing a little bit, but it was really cool.
We also had mini golf.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of a playground for kids.
Just one
hammocks too.
Josh loved those.
They had hammocks. They had a lot of different areas around there. It was relatively small, but for what it is, it has a lot. And the only thing that I could say is that I wish there were more of the hobbits, like the houses. I feel like there was only like a few. There's
more like interactive.
Well, some of the houses were private. Like people live in them.
People actually live in.
Or you can rent them for like a night. Like some of them
were hotels.
I wish we could have gone into one of the houses. Like we went into like the restaurants that were shaped like that. Like the bathrooms were shaped like it. Yeah. Like I would have liked to go into like one of the quote unquote houses there. That would have been awesome. There was like free roaming dogs that lived there.
And
like,
kitties.
Yeah. Animals.
It was amazing. There was little shops. It was really a beautiful, beautiful place.
It really was. You should definitely go there, even if you don't even know what the Hobbit is. Like, it's definitely a place you should go.
It's a little bit out of the way because you do have to go so high on top of a mountain. But if you have a way to get there, like, do it.
And it was pretty affordable too. I think it was like $20 to get in.
Yeah. The biggest, and you don't have to buy anything when you're there. The biggest expense is the however you're getting up there. Whether you're renting a car or an Uber or taking a bus, like that's going to be the biggest expense, but it's totally worth it.
And the shuttle's included in your entrance.
I would have paid more than $20 at the door to get in.
Yeah. Definitely. It was really nice. We all loved Hobbit to Ningo.
Even Josh loved Hobbit to Ningo. I think that was his favorite day, he said.
Really?
I'm like 90%.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And because I remember being surprised when he said that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that was his favorite day.
So yeah, I mean, definitely go there.
So after Hobbit-Tenango, we went to look around Antigua a little bit. We had Antigua in our itinerary later in the trip, but I think it was just really close to Hobbit-Tenango, so we were like, let's just stop by and check out the city a little bit before going to Chimaltenango. And we had a lot of fun in Antigua.
Yeah, it is such a romantic. I use the word romantic a lot because that's kind of how like I like to see the world. Like I like to live in romantic or like see romantic places. But like so romantic, like absolutely beautiful, like the pastel colors, like
you had the cobblestone streets, but also it was surrounded by volcanoes, which was really cool because you just look up and everywhere you're surrounded by mountains, volcanoes, beautiful landscape.
Easily one of my favorite cities I've ever been to.
Yeah,
like,
mine too.
We'll make a list. We'll do like a podcast when it's like a list of our favorite cities, like not countries, but specifically cities we've ever been to. Yes. But that is definitely on my list. Probably in top 3. I think that's top 3.
Yeah, Antigua was very beautiful.
After, we were walking around Antigua, we sat at a park bench, and they could tell we were tourists.
Everyone could tell we were tourists, and they hounded us and tried to make us buy stuff. And it's like, I messed up because I bought one thing off of one person.
I sat there on my phone, and no one said anything to me. I just want to put that out there. Like, sit there on your phone, ignore them, and they won't say anything.
And just keep track of your stuff, too, because honestly, they were, like, stepping on my feet trying to get to us. So I was, like, holding on to my purse, just, like, looking down, not saying a word. But they were, like, hovering over me.
Were sitting there laughing, and Liz and Josh were trying to, like, fight them off. I was like, just ignore them. Just ignore them. And Josh is looking at this thing from this person, so somebody else shoves something in his face.
Yeah. Don't take out all your money at once. Like, just try to, like, if you want something, transaction really quick and then run away. Like, don't just sit in one place.
That was very scary. We were being hounded by, like, 5 people. And
then kids started to come, and we felt bad.
We felt bad because there's these little kids, and it's like, I
didn't feel bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think even Josh just gave, like, one kid, like, 100 quetzales. Yeah, like, I don't want anything, but here, just take some money.
Yeah. Like, just leave us alone, please.
Yeah, because it's sad.
It's a hustle, but...
Yeah,
get away from me. I don't need you in my face. They were all literally not even a foot away from my face.
Also,
get away from me.
Yeah. In Guatemala, I feel like just go to a shop. Just go to a shop and buy there because you'll probably get better deals anyways.
Yeah, everyone on the street was saying they had their own unique handmade stuff.
And it's like everybody had the same thing, and it's like you definitely bought this off of somewhere. But
yeah,
definitely just go to a shop, and it's safer because you're not having people hounding you. You're just...
Also, keep, like, money in a couple different places when you go to Guatemala. Like,
just in
case. We didn't get, like, robbed or anything, but there are pickpockets, and, like, there were 5 people in our face at that one time. Like,
they definitely could have...
Keep track of your purses, like, keep track of your phones. Like, all it takes is one person. Like, everyone we met in Guatemala was super nice and helpful, but, like, just takes that one person. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we didn't run into them, but maybe somebody else will. So just same thing in New York City or anywhere you go. Like, really be aware of your surroundings. Really be aware of where your personal items are. Mm-hmm. And then after the park, we went to the Antigua Brewing Company because I needed a drink because of stuff that happened in my personal life. And
Kelly also loves beer, so
I am a little bit
wanted to do.
Of a beer enthusiast. Yeah. Self-proclaimed. And they had, like, flights, like, 6 different types of beer for, like, 36 quinzals.
It was very cheap.
Very cheap. Yeah. And they were delicious, and it was such a cool atmosphere.
Yes, like, the place itself is so dope.
We had a view, we were on a roof, and we had a view of not only the city, but the volcanoes surrounding us.
Yes. It was beautiful. Yeah. I don't even like beer like that, but I was just, like, loving
the vibe was there.
I drank their beer.
She did. We all tasted it, but we were just like...
And I had 2
different drinky.
I think I had 2 flights of my own and the rest of yours.
You definitely did.
A lot that night.
We got our own little drinks, margaritas or whatever.
I should have like a soda.
He like tried to sip of my beer and was like,
yeah.
perfect.
That tastes like ass.
Like, you don't understand.
Yeah. It was delicious though. I highly recommend that place if you're going. It's on Travelocity and TripAdvisor. That's right. Yeah. And it's totally worth it.
Yes, definitely.
So that was our day 5. So we did a little bit of Hapatenango, Antigua, got a taste of it, and then we went to Chimaltenango to my mom's house. My mom has a house out there. And if you guys didn't see the first episode,
refer to that. We won't go through that horror story again.
Yeah.
But it led us to the most beautiful hotel I've ever stayed in.
Yeah. So after staying at Chimaltenango that night, we immediately booked the hotel hotel that
We didn't give it a chance.
And so we stayed at Hotel Santa Catalina. I can't say that. Anyways,
it was literally, if you know the famous arc of like Antigua, it's like what it's known for. It's literally the door next to the arc. So we stayed in my opinion, in or at the arc. Like it was.
Yeah.
Liz's mom was very kind enough to book it for us, and it was
the best hotel we could have done.
The most beautiful. Like you walk in, it's like an indoor. I mean, it's like an outdoor hotel. So like you walk into like a courtyard with like a restaurant and a fountain, and then you go through and there's like
almost like private like villas.
Yeah, then
so we had our own villa, and it was a huge room,
and there was a trampoline and a kids playpen, and
it was a beautiful.
Yeah, we had a little tiny like kitchen in our thing.
The shower ever. Like a room was the whole room was the shower basically.
Yeah, we had like a couch in our bedroom. It was 2 full-size beds and a twin size and a couch, like, and we still had like a whole
kitchen,
like floor where we could like dance. Basically.
Yeah. We had a party.
Yeah,
it was huge and it was beautiful, and like you walk out.
The price is very affordable.
Was it?
It was really affordable.
That's amazing. You walk out into like the courtyard, and there's seats for the kid, and then there's a pool down the block that we were able to go to that like we had a view of the volcano, which was fucking sick.
Imagine swimming in a pool and looking up and just seeing volcanoes. That was amazing.
So the pool was a part of a different hotel. We just paid at our hotel to get into the other hotel's pool, and we reserved a time slot, so it was really just for us at that time.
Yeah,
and
there was like one other group in the pool for like a couple minutes. Yeah, it was quiet. It was just a beautiful atmosphere.
Yeah. We really had like nice evenings too.
Yeah,
after all the
like we did like everything. So like Guatemala was like it's a little bit not the safest place. Like it doesn't have the best reputation. So like we didn't want to go out too late at night. Like that's what all the blogs said. Like it's safe as long as you don't go out past this time. So we kind of did everything super early in the morning. Like, we woke up at like 4:30, 5:30 every day. Got home by like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, ate, and then had like an evening at the hotel. Yeah. We doing it, and honestly, I loved it. It was such a good mix of like adventure and like relaxation and just hanging out and enjoying the company of the people you're with.
But before even getting to the hotel, let's just backtrack. We drove from Chimaltenango into Antigua that morning, and we had a zipline tour. So before even thinking about the zipline tour, we went to eat, and we ate at this spot that like had Wi-Fi and everything. It was great.
It's Sunshine. It was called the Sunshine Cafe. And it was. We'll link that as well. It was so good. The smoothies, the food. I don't even remember what I ate, but I remember crying over it. I like absolutely loved it. I don't know if you guys remember. Like, I got like 2 like baked. I got pancakes and then this like cheese spinach thing, and oh my god, it was one of the best things I've ever eaten. I talk a lot about food because I like the food. Like one of my favorite parts about traveling is trying the different food, and it was so good.
It was really good.
So over breakfast, we were like looking into how we were going to get to our ziplining tour. We pulled up the itinerary, and we just couldn't figure it out. I don't know. We were like looking at maps and stuff, and we were just like, "What road is this?" So we were like,
"Wait, why is it 2,000 miles away?"
It was like
not even that. We were just like, it just had like a very American name. I think it was like on Paradise Road or something, and we were like, that doesn't sound right. So I think we called them, and we were trying to get directions over the phone, and they were just like, which part of the island are you coming from?
And I was like, island?
I was like, we're not on an island? And they were like, yeah, like Antigua. I'm like, oh my god.
There's another Antigua in the world. I didn't know, so I booked the zipline. I dragged them ziplining with me because I love ziplining, but I didn't know that there was an Antigua Island. Like I knew
about it, but I didn't even think about like booking something.
It was like zipline over a rainforest, and like I guess like Antigua wasn't a rainforest. Like,
no, that shit's a city.
So I don't know what was going through my head when I booked it, but you guys looked at the tour too. Like it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
And I was really upset because it was like a 3-hour tour, and it was like the thing I was probably most excited for the whole trip. So I found out that it was
in a different
different Antigua, and I was like bummed. I was like, oh my god, we're not doing this. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. We were able to, so we went on Google, we like quickly found another zip lining tour, and we were able to book them
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half or so.
Right after eating, I was able to like contact that agency, and then we got to book it, and right after eating we went straight.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the zip lining place, but we will link it and the Instagram of our tour guides. Yeah. And they were awesome, and it also was out of like this like modern art museum.
It was like a hotel / museum. It was really
really cool, and we never would have like come across it if we hadn't zip lined. So definitely a cool find. Like, that's part of the great thing about traveling, is even if one thing doesn't work out the way you expected it to, you'll find something else that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So I dragged them ziplining with me, and what was your opinions on ziplining?
It was scary at first, but I ended up loving it. Like, now I want to zipline anywhere possible.
So like, I'm like afraid of heights, but ziplining doesn't bother me, which is very interesting. Like, it's weird what triggers my like fear of heights, I guess. Like, ziplining, I just feel so secure all the time, and the views and the rush you get doing it, like, there's really nothing.
It was so much fun. Definitely zipline if you ever have the time to do it.
Step out of that comfort zone and go push those boundaries, get on that zip line. Even like, you know, I'm really afraid of heights too, and I don't really feel secure on zip lines, I wouldn't say, but it was an amazing.
You're gonna go skydiving?
Yes, push yourself out of those boundaries.
You can get there's no way I'm going skydiving. I'm a very adventurous person. I'll do almost anything, but throwing myself voluntarily out of a plane with a piece of fabric to keep me alive does not sound fun to me.
I'm all for putting yourself in vulnerable situations.
That's not a vulnerable situation.
Red zone.
Hell no.
That'll be my vlog then. My vlog.
I will be cheering you on. Will never catch me jumping out of a plane. I'm just, unless it's a life or death situation, it won't happen. I'm just like a little parachute out of the plane. Nothing about it seems fun to me. I literally cannot even imagine doing it, so we're just gonna skip to the next topic.
Oh my goodness.
So ziplining, A+, do it. It's amazing. Doesn't matter if you're afraid of heights, like, do it. Like, it's awesome.
It was very affordable too. It wasn't
honestly, I was more scared. We had to climb up like this ladder on a pole.
It wasn't the tallest tree.
It was very.
And then you had to like switch ladders. Like, you were going up one, and then the second ladder, but
It was kind of like to the left to hop up.
like fucking Spider-Man. Like,
So that was scarier.
Hold on for dear life.
We were like attached to something, but that was scarier, I would say, than like the zip line.
It was so scary.
Yeah.
It was worth it though, because that zip line was so high up over the whole city.
You see the whole city, all the volcanoes surrounding it. Like, that was my favorite.
And the tour guides definitely made it fun for us. Like,
they taught
he
us.
Unexpectedly was like pulling the thing, and we were like bouncing on the zip line, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
Kind of
they were like shitting themselves, and there was like a 7-year-old doing it with us. I was like, she can do it, guys. You can do it.
That girl was screaming for her mommy.
She was like screaming for her mom.
Screaming, "Mama!"
I was just so like, I'm sorry.
It's like she's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, but it was cute. It was fun.
She was adorable.
Yeah. So shout out to you guys if you're listening to this. You're probably not, but.
And then the next day we had a lovely, relaxing day at the beach, El Paradon, which is the #1 surf beach of Guatemala.
I think in the world, it's a very known beach in the world. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Surfing.
It's black sand, which, if you did not know, is magnetic. So don't bring your AirPods, because it fucked mine up.
Yeah, it's stuck in your case.
I still have. It's been 2 months since we went, and I still fucking have black sand in my AirPods.
That's crazy.
Don't bring your AirPods. Don't do it.
Black sand, and it was honestly like I could see it being a surfing beach because those waves were insane.
And black sand's hot too.
Very hot.
You don't think you can get away with bring shoes, bring
shoes for sure.
Bring shade. Luckily, there was like a resort behind where we were, and we ate breakfast and lunch there. We got margaritas there.
Yeah, pina coladas.
The strawberry daiquiri was for you.
They let us use their shower and bathroom
They were
without
so cool to us.
like charging us.
I know their Wi-Fi, like it was awesome. It was beautiful. What was the name?
It was Ka'ana Surf, which is a really nice. It's a small but a really nice
The
hotel.
resort.
Yeah, or like a resort, and it's
Yeah.
literally walking distance to the beach.
And there was a hotel right next to it too, so we could have stayed there if we wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pricier hotel, but it was
Definitely bougie.
beautiful.
We had
Yeah.
a bougie time there. On
There
the
was,
beach
like,
with our pina
big palm
coladas.
trees. Yeah.
They had a pool. They
Yeah,
had,
Cayana Surf Resort in El Perdón, Guatemala. But it was beautiful. We'll link it. It's like they have like individual villas for like their guests and like a pool that was only for the guests. Like we would have to pay to get into it. Like it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
And
it
the
was
food
so
was really
nice.
good. I liked my food there too.
it was really nice how they let us like stay there. We were with Joshua. Did not want to be on the beach. Obviously, he doesn't like sunbathing, but they allowed him to stay there for the whole time that we were on the beach.
Use their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They, you know, as long as he was like ordering a couple of Pepsis here and there.
Yeah.
He was ordering for us too. Yeah, but it was just like a nice, relaxing day to kind of end off our trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hot though.
We burnt in less than an hour.
I don't think we stayed there for more than 3 hours.
No,
maximum.
it was
We were hot.
The black sand beach obviously attracts a lot of sun, and the water is rough. Like it's a surfing beach, and like we could all swim, but there was no lifeguards on duty. Like there was nobody else on the beach.
Oh, I
like,
can't swim.
Oh, well,
I'm
me
not a
and
strong swimmer.
well, I can swim, but there was no lifeguards on duty. There was nobody even on the beach like that. Like it was just like not something that I was necessarily like willing to risk.
do,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have just taken way more energy. I just wanted to relax and like
And I'm, like-
fight for my life in a riptide. Wasn't really on my list of things to do for that day.
So,
And then we
I mean, I remember how red I was. I wasn't even tan. I was like
put sunscreen on.
you
radiating.
didn't put sunscreen on.
We did. We were like bathing in it. We knew.
I was scared. I was like, I'm not about to get sun poisoning. Like,
Yeah, that would just be sucky to get that in another country too.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was red. Like, my skin tone was red. It
Yeah.
was pretty scary because I was
Yeah.
looking at the pictures the other day and I look
Red.
red as hell. So, yeah, that was the beach. We did the beach and then we went to the pool that night, no?
No, we did bar hopping the night. We went to the pool the night before.
We went bar.
Well, so we found a bar that we loved so much the night before. After we went to the pool the night before, called Los Tres Tiempos. It was right on the same street as the hotel, and so the next night we decided to do like a little bar hop. So we went to like a couple of different bars on the street. Went to a bar called Macondo, which was like a sports bar, and they had live music playing, and he was so into it.
That was amazing. I'm a really big fan of live music, and that was so much fun to me.
He was dancing, singing. It was a vibe in
He
there.
was loving life.
And then we went to a bar called Vice, which was like a rooftop bar, and was definitely like more of a club than a bar. It like
Yeah, but it was dead.
because it was COVID. It was like a Thursday or Tuesday night or something like that.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a lot was going on, but there was like a stage for where there was usually bars.
And yeah, every bar we went to, the aesthetic was like amazing.
Yeah, and
Like,
everyone was so different.
definitely like picture worthy. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to go somewhere where you could literally take pictures anywhere, it's Antigua.
Yeah.
You could go anywhere and it's like
Even
picture
in the
worthy.
streets, yeah. The buildings are pretty, pastels everywhere.
And just I'm a big fan. I hate driving on cobblestone. I wanted to
We were so
die.
nauseous.
But that's also cause, yeah, whatever. But like I love the aesthetic of like cobblestone streets. I just think it's so romantic and like vintage tee, high heels on cobblestones, as Taylor Swift would say. I definitely messed that up because I can't think right now. But just like that, like vibe of the aesthetic. I literally think if you guys are Taylor Swift fans, I said it when we were in Guatemala. Like Antigua is like the realization of what I imagined Taylor Swift's song Cardigan to be. Like that's like the embodiment of that song. So like the whole time we were in that, like the romantic, like relaxed, like throaty, like sensuality of it. It was beautiful and romantic and ancient. Like, there was history there, but there was something like,
Yeah, and also at night, we were out, not late, but it was late, and there was police out.
Every corner. So we didn't, like, go past our block, really, but they, especially in Antigua, they had tourist police, which is something we were talking about earlier, and we saw them, like, filming, like, a fake, like, takedown of, like, robbers for, like, I guess their
training purposes,
or their training purposes, and, like, they're really putting a lot of emphasis on, like, tourism and, like, protecting.
And before it went down, we had, like, a cop come up to us, and she was like, don't get scared, we're reenacting something, and we got to see it. It was really cool. They're definitely trying their best to get more tourists out there, and I mean, it's very safe to be in Antigua out of all places that we've been to in Guatemala, so I definitely recommend going to Antigua.
I would 100% go back and spend, like, a week in Antigua. It was so pretty.
And we noticed that there's a lot of students that, American, and I'm guessing from other countries too, they live there. Yeah. And they study there, so Antigua out of everywhere in Guatemala would be a place you shouldn't feel unsafe in.
And it's definitely the most unique.
Yes.
Like, Guatemala City, to me, wasn't anything special. Like, the best part about it was, like, going up the volcano and stuff like that. But, like, the city itself was, like, cool. The mall was cool. But, like, I don't know if I'd go back.
Yeah.
Antigua, I would go back to in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like, so quickly. Like, I think that there's so much left to be discovered in that city. So, definitely recommend.
Then our last day, day 8, we woke up really early, and we tried to go to the lake at Titilan,
which is the deepest lake in Central America.
So it was a drive, and we went there, and we went to, like, the slums part of it.
We didn't research as much as we should have about that. That's the one, I regret that.
There's, like, this, if you guys don't know, and if you do want to go to the lake, please look it up. And
pick a spot that you know, like a restaurant you know. Like, we were thinking about, like, getting lunch, like, at the lake, like, enjoying some time, like, maybe renting a boat to go out on the lake with, and then
we just ended up in a really, like, deserted area.
Like, not for tourists. Like, they were looking at us like we had 6 heads. Like, like, it was just not someplace we felt comfortable.
We were definitely not comfortable. Like, we literally got out of the car. We tried to walk around a little bit to see if we found somewhere to eat, and it was just not. It was very sketchy.
There wasn't restaurants, like, it wasn't anywhere for tourists to go. Like, like, there were boats, but it wasn't, like, for tourists. Like, it was not something. So I suggested it was beautiful. The lake was beautiful itself, and I would have loved to see it from, like, a tourist town or, like, someplace that I felt a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. You know, tourism spots are not always the best spots, but on places like this, they're the safest. So definitely do your research instead of just, you know, flying by the seat of your pants when it comes to going to this lake. Yeah. You definitely need to do some research as to what part of the lake you're going to, because it is the deepest lake in Central America. It's also huge, right? There's so much to see. So definitely do some research about that lake before
going. We just hopped out of the car, kind of tried to take pictures, and we left right away. We didn't even want to try to find, like, a place to eat near there because we had a flight to catch later in the day.
We were not missing it.
Yeah. We ended up getting to the airport. We had planned to spend an afternoon at the lake, so we ended up getting to the airport, like, freaking 8 hours early. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. And also, we thought because it was an international airport, international flight, we had to be there earlier. But really, they wouldn't even check us in until, like, 2 or 3 hours before our flight left.
It was like our flight was at, like, 9, and they didn't, like, enter. They, like, start checking like bags until 7 or something like that.
Our flight was at 12, and we started checking in at 9.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was a late flight. It was a late flight, and we got there at, like, 6. Like, we got there super early because like I said, we planned to spend a time at the lake, and we didn't, which was poor planning on our part. We probably could have went to the zoo or something when we were there.
Yeah, but then also the car was having trouble.
Yeah. On our way back, the car kept stalling. It was really scary because we caught traffic,
and, like, the car just wouldn't turn on.
It was hot out, like, the sun beaming,
and it wasn't the best part of Guatemala City. So we had guys, like, we had to get out and push the car, and we had guys, like, this would happen in any city, but it was just not.
Guys were basically, like, catcalling, and we just, like
some restaurant.
Yeah, it was weird. So definitely, like, get a reliable car.
Yeah.
Like, just rent one at that point. Like, it might just be easier.
I mean, the car got us scary places, basically fine, but I really think it was that traffic that, like, since we were in the heat,
and stuff.
and then,
It was just very stopping and the car just, like, did not want to do it.
yeah, the car was like,
Yeah, thank God it, lasted that long, though, because it could have got stuck on one of those mountains.
yes,
Or at, like, Lake Tat.
At
Titan.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible, but, and the drive up there
It was rough.
was scary. Like, I don't get car sick, and I was feeling sick. And thank God Kelly was sleeping.
Because I get car sick pretty easily.
So, yeah.
And I didn't have Dramamine with me, which was stupid on my part. I knew we were going to be driving a lot.
But,
I can go on all the roller coasters in the world and not get car sick. But you put me in a car, and I'm going to get motion sick. It's crazy.
So, we got to the airport really early, besides our car breaking down, but the car, like, just barely got us to the airport. We hopped out, we were like, peace, we said bye. We thanked our driver, and we stayed in the airport for 6 hours. It was very uncomfortable, but that was unfortunately the end of our trip.
I didn't have Wi-Fi or service, so I was really miserable. I was really, like, I had a book, but I just wasn't, I read a lot, but I wasn't in the mood that whole trip. I haven't been in the mood to read recently, so I was just like, I don't want to read. I don't have service.
And there was Wi-Fi, you just couldn't connect, and it was driving Kelly crazy, because, like, I was lying on the floor of the airport
Watching 90 Day Fiancé, and I just wanted to look.
She was, like, over my shoulder, she's like, do you have Wi-Fi? How do you have Wi-Fi? I'm just like, Kelly, the show's going on. Like,
Everyone had Wi-Fi. Josh was like a sexy dude. We were watching Disney Plus and Instagram, and I was sitting there bored out of my mind
for 6 hours.
Literally miserable. I will never forget that. Oh my god. That was awful.
And then not only that, now everything has changed with, like, when you buy your flight, like, when you purchase your flight, your luggage is not included anymore.
Oh god.
Yeah, check your tickets, guys, because I had to pay $90 or something like that for a check-in bag on the way there and the way back for my carry-on case.
It was ridiculous.
I wasn't allowed to carry on, so I had to check my carry-on.
Carry-ons, if you're going with a carry-on, do not bring a suitcase for that, because now you have to check
it doesn't even matter. Like, you're only allowed a personal item if you take, like,
no, like, your carry-on could be, like, a backpack. Do that. Because I got on with my backpack.
But that's a personal item for them.
No, I had a purse, too.
I had, like, one of those small...
My bag was a personal item because it fit under the seat.
So I had one of the
Just don't do the suitcases, because they're hard and they don't fit under the seats.
Yeah. I had one of the small, like, I don't know how many inches it is, but, the small carry-on suitcase.
Like a carry-on size.
And I use it for literally every trip I've ever been on.
Yeah.
I used it in Greece and Italy and Guatemala and Aruba and everywhere I've ever been, London, Paris, whatever. Never had a problem. I get to the airport leaving New York, and they're like, you gotta pay for that. And it was like, I barely had anything in it, too.
Yeah, it's not like...
It was, like, literally $60 on the way there and on the way back. I was fuming. Like, my face was genuinely heated. Like, I was so angry. And I didn't take it out on the guy, but I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and we were just so used to the carry-on being part of your... Like, the price.
We didn't even think to check it.
Yeah. And, it's not. And it's like, all airlines are doing that. Like, your carry-on is not included.
It's supposed to be, like, the price-efficient option, which is fine until you bring a carry-on because you don't identify print, and then it's $120 extra to what you just paid, and it's like, well, I could have upgraded my ticket.
Yeah, like, our plane tickets were really cheap, but it included nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think we got food.
We did not get food, and you were so upset about that too.
Which is fine.
But no one got food on.
No one got food, but I was just like, I usually at least like to have an option of snacks. Like, I like pretzels, but I don't like.
We were just handed goodie bags, basically.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm spoiled, I guess, but I'll survive. That's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't bad at food, but I was pissed about spending the extra for the carry-on. So just,
Look into
be
that.
aware and look into it. So that's our trip to Guatemala.
So now it's time for our report card for Guatemala.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. Do you want me to list all the categories?
Yeah.
So all of our categories, we're going to rate beauty, food, excursions and activities, accessibility, so that means like how easy it is getting around, transportation, and affordability. And all of this is based on our experience and our itinerary that we planned.
And we will be linking our itineraries up properly for
On our
purchase
website, yeah.
for a couple $, so you can see exactly what we did and how we did it, and we'll kind of plan a trip out for you if you're interested in like getting the experience that we did.
Yeah, definitely. So out of 5 stars, the beauty, aesthetics of the country. What do we say?
You go first.
I say 5.
Yeah, I definitely say compared to other countries I've been to, it's like a 4 for me.
So if we were singularly talking about Antigua, I'd give it a 5. Guatemala City was not a 5, so I'm gonna give it a 4. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.
I honestly liked every part of it. I thought each part was unique, and I like cities too, so.
I'm very picky about cities though. Like I said, like if you look at my like past travels, what my favorite places are, like I love cities, but they are romantic cities, like Florence and Venice and Athens. Like those are the cities that I like. Even London I like, but like nothing about like Guatemala City was cool, but like nothing about it was like super,
Yeah.
Okay.
How about the food? Food? Easy. I give it a 5.
I give it a 5 on food too. I liked
it.
I don't think the only okay, I'm not gonna give it a 5. My only discrepancy was that all the desserts contained fruit, and
Kelly hates fruit.
I'm not a fruit person. Like I tried to get dessert in every restaurant we went to, and not a single one had more than 2 options, and both those options were surrounded by fruit. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Alright, excursions/activities. I think we did really well planning our excursions activities. Damn, I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah, 5 for me too.
Definitely 5.
That's the first 5 I've given.
Really?
First, yeah.
Oh, I am too easy, I guess. Accessibility. Well, I mean, just based on our experience.
Well, it was easy for us though because we had a personal, like we didn't take public transportation.
But there's Ubers there, and you can pay cash now in Uber, so accessibility would be easy. And also, I know if you go on Viator, which is a website, you could rent out shuttles, so you have options. So I definitely think it would be like a.
I would give it a 4.
It would be a 4.
Also, they have like buses and stuff.
They do, but I wouldn't go on it. So there's definitely shuttles that are good pricing, and there's Ubers. So definitely take advantage of that.
I feel like I can't really give this.
Yeah, it's a 4.
I feel like I can't really give this a grade because we had like basically a personal driver. But based on like our experience at the airport and with our taxi drivers and Uber drivers, I'll give it a 4 as well.
Yeah.
Just for that simple reason.
And affordability.
It was very affordable.
Yeah.
It was a very like cheap trip for us. Well, for me at least.
Yeah, it was cheap.
What I spent the most money on was
The mall.
my silver years.
Oh my
god! But it was definitely affordable. Like I just
Food wise and like
going to the mall was the worst thing I could have done that day. But besides that, like on the actual like trip itself, definitely a 5.
Yeah, I would give it a 5 too.
Okay, so our final score for it is rounded up a 4.7 out of 5.
Wow,
That is
amazing.
Guatemala did amazing.
We had a great time in Guatemala.
We did, and it was,
It was very good vibes. It was very
the perfect mixture of like a tropical, relaxing, but we did a lot of adventurous,
historical. I got some of my history.
Yeah, we got a taste of like everything
like
on that
amazing
trip.
We got to go, we got to go drinking a little bit, which is fun for like people our age. We got to. It was awesome. Genuinely, like a very, very.
It was
good
really
trip.
fun.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, everything, especially Antigua. Like, you need to go to Antigua. Like, if you just go to Guatemala for Antigua, do
It's
it.
worth it.
Yeah.
You can even like even if it's just like a couple days, then you go to like
Nicaragua or Costa Rica
or somewhere near it, like do a layover in Antigua, spend 2 or 3 days. Like it's so worth it. It's so beautiful. Like I genuinely can't say enough great things about Antigua. And you know what? From Antigua, you can hike up a volcano. It won't be the volcano we hiked up on, but I'm sure it's just as cool and just as beautiful, if not nicer. So,
and like we said, even if you're not a hiker, take a horse up. You don't even have to be an avid.
It's not gonna break your. It's not gonna break your wallet. Like it was very cheap. Like we tipped, and I tipped my tour guide, my like horse, the guy that held the horse, very generously because he was very good, and it still was very affordable. So.
Yep. So,
all right.
That's it. That's the end of this episode.
Thank you for joining us on episode 3. I hope you enjoyed our experience in Guatemala.
And let us know what you liked. What would you do if you had the chance? Where would you go? What would you see? What you think your favorite day or excursion would be? I think my favorite day was going to be Tikal, just because I love the history of it. But Antigua was my favorite place. What about you guys?
In between, I really enjoyed the volcano, the horse ride, but I also really enjoyed the day we spent in Hapatenango.
Yeah.
And because also that day we went to Antigua.
Yeah,
so
that's
like the perfect mixture for me.
Yeah.
Mine has to be definitely Tikal.
Interesting.
Now that I think about it.
I feel like you said ziplining a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah, ziplining.
That's probably your favorite excursion.
Yeah, but the day in itself, it would be Tikal. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next episode.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
We hope you enjoyed it. Remember to follow us on @whereverlifetakesUs_ on Instagram.
Yeah.
Check out our YouTube.
Our website. You can find this podcast and the rest of our episodes on all major streaming podcast platforms.
Yep.
So
and definitely just look at our Instagram to be up to date with everything.
Thank you for all the support and love.
Keep adventuring, guys. We love you.
Bye.